Welcome back, everybody. Let's make sure we've got rid of the stuff we needed to get rid of. We have. Where is home? Home is there. Okay. The trader symbol is here somewhere, isn't it? Yep. Good. So I've been working on the server today. I teleported myself back to where we logged out yesterday when we had issues. Now making my way home. I hope everyone's okay out there in internet land. Had a good Boxing Day, if you celebrate it. I've been mapping today the locations for the loot crates, ready for the final part of the server to be built. Which will be done in the next couple of days. Probably tomorrow morning I'll start actually placing them in and testing them. And then we'll go from there. Made a few decisions on the server. We're going to be, in a week's time, taking out expansion storage because it's a little bit buggy. Staying with the barrels, they work fine. Players have been given advance notice, but I'm sure they won't all listen. But they've been given notice. That's it. Dealt with. They shouldn't find it in the world anymore. We're going to have 9, maybe 10, but 9 key card rooms or key loot crates. 7 of them as part of a quest line, and 1 independent. Interesting. We'll need another fire again soon. Far from home am I am fair distance from home is the answer to that one. So we might need to think about a fire en route. Shame, but goes with the territory. What else is happening? The Christmas presents I bought myself get here tomorrow, which would be nice. Some more RAM for the PC and two 140mm fans joined together, so 280 combined fan unit and NZXT1 to fit in the bottom of my NZXT case, and a controller for it, so I can change the speed of the fans themselves using the CAM software. So we'll be going up to 64 gigs of RAM and a better cooling system, basically. But we're just making our way home. Tomorrow evening, we're going to start the Goblin DayZ community run for the Goblin Army. So we will be streaming all weekend. Lots of people that are part of the Discord and play on this server, and also just part of the Discord, have all been invited along. A big group of them are going to be joining myself and a few others as we attempt to play a official server and survive. Quite good fun. And then going forward, the idea will be every few months to do a community event. Open to both members and non-members, so as long as you're a subscriber to the channel, you get an invite. And you have to be in the Discord, realistically. Also today I've set up my AdSense account fully, so that's all ready to go now. So now I can at last be paid for some YouTube stuff, so memberships, super likes, that sort of thing. I have to wait for them to put some money into my account to guarantee the bank account worked. It's all gone through now. Which is nice. Here we go. We have a fire lighting kit. Now there's our next good house. Towns aren't naturally good houses, but hey. Let's go and get ourselves warmed up a little bit and carry on making our way home. Apart from that, tonight we need some more nails. We might need to do a run to Trader and sell some stuff, or run to the Airfield and try and get some better loot. Maybe a run to North East. See if we can bag ourselves some better loot. Medical stuff, potentially. See how we get on. I do realise we're losing health now, so a fire will be needed quite soon. The joy of a Goblin DayZ survival server. It's alright though. As I said, we'll have the key cards in soon and all that entails, which will be interesting. Hopefully players will follow through the missions. Sarah's dad, did Santa not give you some boxes of nails? No, Santa didn't give me any boxes of nails. So we need to go nail hunting, which means probably down through farms and down to the coast a little bit. Santa didn't give me anything. Santa said to me now, right, Mr. Goblin, you've got your own bank account. You can buy what you want. Santa's got more important things to do. Yeah. So my pre-Christmas, I bought a monitor arm, and tomorrow I've got more RAM and a cooling system turning up, and some Allen keys, of all things. Oh, and a controller, so the cooling system, I can control the fan speed. To our US viewers hex keys. I think you probably refer to them as, but Allen keys. And we do need a fire, because it is a little bit colder. We're starting to lose health, just a little bit. Hi there, John. Nowhere's really safe for a fire. But it only has to be a quick fire. Once it's done, we can move on. Quick little fire. Foolish goblin. I love this house. I don't this style of property to live in. I just don't like it from a security perspective when you're just cooking a fire. But it's probably one of the safer options because you can stand with your back to the fire, close both doors, and keep this window covered. Having a lockpick would make life a lot safer. I had to move my PC off the dining table to the kitchen. It has a weird wired connection. Downloaded 93, update 51. With Wi-Fi it was upload 236, download 50. I'll be returning to the dining room setup. I don't understand why you're getting worse connection on wired. I get far better connection on fixed wire than I ever will on Wi-Fi. So I don't know why that is. Unless you're LAN drivers aren't up to date. It's the only thing I could think of potentially. So your local area network drivers on the motherboard. With my geek head on. But as long as you can move it wherever you need to move it. But yeah, I understand wanting a better connection. The only reason I stream at 4K is when I moved into this place. The internet here is far better than the internet used to be in my old house. In my old house, the best internet they could get in the street was 30 down, 6 up, and nothing could upgrade it. It came off an old BT telegraph pole, and basically, because I was surrounded by old people that had no interest in gaming, they hadn't had enough people complain that they needed faster connections, so BT weren't going to change the telegraph pole and upgrade the connection. So that was it. That's what I was stuck with, and nothing could be done. But moved here, and I've got 300 down and 60 up, which is perfect for 4K streaming. It's the upload speed that matters to me. Basically, at the moment, I'm streaming at 35,000 up, between 35,000 up and 40,000 up, which is what I need to do 4K. Or sorry, 4K at quality. You can upload 4K. You can stream 4K at a lot lower than that, because the 4K definition is something has to be 4K. Hi Nebula, John Goblin. Hey John, I see you finally took that promotion offer. Yes, John thought long and hard about it, and then came back and said that they would become my mod, which I was thankful for. And they're very good at it. I get that it's not for everyone. And compared to past mods I've had on different platforms, John's here a lot. It's good. I think John's banking on the fact that one day I'll be rich and famous. And then he can go, ah, yes, I can sell you the real story about Goblin. So I do know where there are nails that lots of matches, thank you very much, that spawn in every 6 hours, as well as pristine clothing. John's little ears have pricked up. So in the bunker at Northwest and the bunker at Northwest and Tissy, anything that spawns inside the bunker that isn't the loot crate will spawn in pristine. Yeah. So yeah, if you get a swipe card, which you at the moment you can get from the zombies outside of each of those bunkers. One bunker has a box of nails, a plate, a pristine plate, and the other one has a box of nails and a pristine Alice pack, and both of them have a selection of ammunition and weapon parts that are pristine, and they respawn after each restart of the server. But you'll need a swipe card for them. Now at the moment swipe cards are easy to come by. As of tomorrow or Sunday, whenever the work's finished, it'll be harder to get swipe cards. but there'll be a route for everybody to get them, following through the key route. But for people that just want to go off and experience the bunkers without the keys, there it will be a harder fight. And also, because I'm an evil goblin, the final bunker has a surprise. And not a nice one. But we might get home. And yeah, we could go bunker hunting, couldn't we? We have to get up to Tissy, up to the rifle range via the Tissy bunker. It's quite a run. Let's get home, sort our lives out, work out what we need to do. We've been away for a couple of days. We'll have to put a flag up, that's for sure. We might have been raided for all I know. You didn't do it, damn you. Did Jinky think that's going to be a hell of a bunker? No, so I didn't do anything too horrible. Well, I put a bear spawn in there, obviously, and some zombie spawns, but you'd expect that. But the bunker has one way in and a different way out, and the way out isn't very nice. But it is the final area, so we got to expect players to be a little bit tested. Damn bear in bunker. All the bears have had an upgrade, so as a standard, the bear used to spawn in as a single bear, and it had been upgraded to cocaine bear. Now all the bear spawns have a chance of spawning two bears, one of them being cocaine bear and one of them being crackhead bear. That doesn't mean you'll always get crackhead bear, but they all have a chance of spawning crackhead bear with them. Because I'm kind. And I know you're always really impressed with my silly little ideas. The AI have had an upgrade. The AI now have better weapons and unlimited ammo to make it a little bit more punchy. Oh look! Burning fireplaces. Crackhead bear is 4 times harder than the other one. Every time we go near a bear spawn on the server, they maul me. So it'd be even worse on this server. Do I have a spare mag? I thought I had a spare mag for it. There we go. Yes, I have them initiated. So the Halloween event is running now on the server. Which means at night there'll be little lights lighting up random places. And a chance, as you see there, of getting a fireman's jacket and a flare off them. There's 52 potential spawning grounds for bonfires, and it will calculate, like once I get 300 meters away, it will then delete that one. Gordon's calling for aid. Pumpkinhead MVGs are on. I've turned them off fire. Because that doesn't, in my head, add to a server. So they're switched off. We've got the bonfires, and we've got the bonfire loot, and the bonfire loot zombies. And the goat with the fucking red eyes that unnerves everybody. But he's an ultra rare spawn, same as Rudolph. But Rudolph requested him when Rudolph came to the map. He requested a friend, and the only friend we could think of that would fit with Rudolph was a goat. Arguably, if you could find a pumpkin, you could have pumpkin MVGs, but seeing we have no pumpkins on the server, that solves that problem. And in the files I've said don't have this item, so if someone finds pumpkin seeds because it's DayZ and then grows pumpkins on a restart, it'll be gone, and if they put it on the ground, it'll be gone. So but I wasn't going to turn on the Christmas event because I've got no interest in Father Christmas, but I quite like the pagan bonfires. That appeals to my sense of humour. But let's get ourselves home and we'll see if this bear spawn's working correctly at the airfield. It might not because it's a chance spawn, so it's not a permanent, the bear will be there. It's just, you might trigger it as in any other event. Then again, you might not. And obviously tomorrow night we're starting the community run weekend. So if people are interested, there is more there. I've set up a voice channel now for it, and we've got the general chat. It's going to its own separate area on the Discord. The details of which server we're on are in there, so if anybody wishes to go on beforehand or any of the other official servers and gear up, they can do. Let's see if we've been raided. And then the only thing left to do to complete the server is for me to get the loot chests working with the keys. Like I said, I've got 7 quest lines to do. I've got 2 independent, but there might be a 3rd independent in a different area. There's a long way from spawn that I might make a base building one. And the keys for the independent ones will spawn once it's in place on the coast. So you'll have to check underneath boats and things to find the 2 or 3 keys that are not in the quest line. The quest line ones will spawn differently. Is all I'm willing to say at the moment. So you'll get 1 key on, actually I'll explain it, but I won't explain where. You'll get 1 key off a zombie, with like a 20% chance of getting that key from a type of zombie. And then as you open each case, you'll get a reward. And then you'll also get the next key. And that'll take you through all 7 stages until you get to endgame. Alright then. What are we dropping off? Like, we've got no space to carry it, to put anything. Right, first of all, rope, and it goes over there. Food. Pistols for sale. Ammo's with ammo. Bit more shotgun, which is nice. 9mm. Not for sale, but we're running out of space to put things. Not for sale. That's food. But we'll move everything down to here. And then work out where we are. So spare mag, spare mag, spare mag. That's useful. Ammo, 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 ammo. I can see your perspective, but it's not. It's only because I needed a way of having endgame initiated on this server for the people that play it. That what I can't have is people just running straight to 1 loot crate, finding a key, going straight there, and having a sniper. Because players do it. Yeah, so if with the 338 in, just having it inside gas zones isn't good enough, because people just run and get NBC suits and go straight there. So I needed a way of making an adventure that takes you all over the map. It's all I could do. There's no other way I have of stopping people getting stuff too quickly otherwise. That's the trouble. So I didn't have a lot of choices, basically. Oh, that will fit in there. And we all know that once I get past Christmas, I probably won't be playing this server anyway. Let's be honest. Right. That's that, and that. We need more ammo. 5.45. Do we have any? Probably not. Oh, we have a little bit. Just a little bit. So that's that. So let's get that loaded. So I really did think long and hard about how I was going to control endgame. And the only way I have of controlling endgame is doing that, unfortunately. I wish there was a better method. If anyone can think of one, I'm open to suggestions. But you controlling the server is not fair. You loot everything. I don't. Meds. No, we're running out of base building. We actually went off looking for base building tools, and that went out well, didn't it? Not. Well, that needs to go with us all the time, because the problem we had last time was no fishing kit. What's that got in it? That's got boot repair kit and money. Do we have any money in it? Yes, we do. Let's drop the money off. Do you have a radio? No. There are radio missions in the game. Super, even if I did have a radio, I wouldn't put it on. It's a solo server. Yeah. I know you do, Fire. I'd love to have a better solution. Yeah. Where's my wallet, of all things? Where is it? Where are you hiding to, Mr. Wallet? There you are. That's where Mr. Wallet's hiding. Right, next thing we're going to need is a fire. Not fire, we're going to need a fire. So let's get a fire done to start with. And that'll give us that boost. Get that sorted. Okay, John. And once the fire's done, then we'll look at the next bit. So we're going to have to take the expansion storage out of server. I have put it in Discord. So we'll just be the barrels going forward and sea chests and those things. They're proving problematic is the best way of putting it, which is the open one. There we are, because we're going to need food with us. Is empty now. It is. That can go. Right, that can move up there. So that's sorted. Oh, let's eat that before it goes off. So that's sorted. So that's sorted. Let's halve that. Put it inside my wallet, hasn't it? Bloody game. Come on. Right then. Carry that with us. That one with us. That one with us. Put that axe away. So we still need tools. But I think a trip to northeast Airfield today, if we're looking for meds, makes sense. Might need to take something a little bit bigger than an SSG. Come on. I'm going to put that on me so it defrosts, because it's just getting damaged. Quite smoky in here, isn't it? Alright then, what's next? So that's that sorted. Footwear okay? Footwear's okay, that's okay. That's... It shouldn't be pristine, but the reason it's pristine is because I was... It shouldn't be pristine, guys. But I was working on the server in God mode today. I think it's upgraded it for me. I do apologise. Right, so we're going to go to Northwest Airfield today and see if the bears spawn in for us, which might mean the plate makes no difference at all. So we'll make our way towards Trader, and then we'll swing to a left and we'll come in this way because we want to go to the medical tents, which are here, and see if we can get some better meds. So we've got food with us, we've got emergency fishing kit, we've got bandages, we've got ammo. We don't have, we need a better weapon. SSG's alright, but if Mr. Bear does spawn in, I need to be able to deal with him. So let's eat some food. Still edible? Yeah. Can't survive enough slots for pristine to matter, honestly. Yeah, it's just annoying. But I had to plot 9 areas for loot chests, and of course I do that in invisible with God mode on. And I think it's just made all my clothing pristine at the same time. And then I had to go into gas zones. So after I come out, even though you got God mode on, when you turn God mode off, you have to heal yourself. Because it literally queues up the gas disease for you. You come out, you turn God mode off, and you suddenly got 15 cups. Yeah. Joy. Which is why I always prefer to do stuff like that when I'm back here, because then I can just spawn in the barrel, put all my clothing inside, commit suicide, go and do it, then teleport back here, take all the stuff out the barrel, put it back on, and then delete the barrel. It's a better way of doing it. But I wasn't home, so because we had a server crash last night. Well, not a server crash, we had somebody, well, B92 reported the problem with those double rooms, which proved to be a bit of an issue, didn't it? Which we solved, but it wasn't ideal. this 45? Yeah, it's not 9 milli. I lied. 45 ACP. Any more? 45 ACP. There we go. Welcome back, John. We're going off to the airfield to see if we can trigger a bear. And I've put more zombies on Northeast Airfield now because it was too easy. Let's see if we can go and get ourselves a pet bear. So yeah, if you go inside the bunker on Northwest and the bunker on Tissy with a swipe card, you will get pristine items inside because they're built into the bunker as bunker loot. Respawn every 6 hours. Once the loot crates are in there, they're additional. That will respawn every 6 hours as well. But there'll be more loot inside. When you get to the bunker level, there'll be more loot inside the item than you could carry. So players, so then if you're not, if a player comes later on before the restart, there'll at least be something in there for them. Evening, Bimmy. I'm going off to Northeast to see if I can trigger a zombie bear. I think we'll be fueled by some cider tonight. I will have a blood orange cider. Hi, Critical. We're off to see if I can trigger a bear. Because the bear spawns are events, so they're not a natural spawn. They just spawn. The game looks at the code and decides whether it's going to spawn one or not based upon quite a few factors. So it just doesn't happen every time. I'm still learning how to make them a permanent spawn. It's really nice fire if you like cider. And this is Audi's own. Don't know what percentage it is. It won't be high. It'll be, I can't even see because I've got all my lights turned off in my room. So I'd like to find a way of making a bear spawn without it being an event, but I'm still working on how I can trigger it so this location, X, Y or Z location, is a bear spawn that spawns every time. I just don't know how yet. We'll get there. Because if I can have a permanent bear spawn, I wouldn't put them all over the map, but in endgame it would be nice to have a guaranteed spawn of a bear. And now we've got an endgame bunker. So I was saying earlier, guys, the big bunker, the massive one that is taken over the rifle range at Tissy, that is there's one way in, swipe card. There's two parts to it with a hidden passage between the two parts. You need to find the hidden passage, get through the hidden passage into the rear part of the bunker, and then you need to find the way out of the bunker. Going to tickle a bear. That's going to be fun. If it spawns. We'll see if we can get it to spawn. Obviously, when I teleport in, it won't, because I've always got ignored by creatures. So, zombies will already be there, because they spawn in a different way than animals. But I want to see whether I can make... Yeah, if I can make a bear spawn work on a certain grid reference. And I think I can. I'm just not 100% sure yet. Because if I can, then endgame bunker will have Crackhead Bear inside it, guaranteed, rather than a chance. Forcing players to work towards endgame and then at endgame having something really, really difficult to fight makes sense. And I don't think AI is the right thing. AI work really well on helicopters, and that's all I want to use them for. And because the bunker's built on the floor, in inverted commas, it's built on the ground rather than sea, I can spawn zombies or animals inside it. But as I said, what we've got a choice of, all the normal bears will always be cocaine bears, but now they have a child with them. In computer terms, when it calls an event is bear, and then the children to that event are the animals or the zombies or whatever we're doing, or the helicopters. So the event is bear, and the child was always the standard bear, which was cocaine bear. I've now added a second child, which is crackhead bear. So now it should have a chance of spawning a minimum of 1 bear, a maximum of 4 bears, of which 1 to 4 could be cocaine or crackhead. And at that point, I would rather they were cocaine. Otherwise, we're going to be on the beach, aren't we, guys? Which will make an interesting viewing, at least. But loot is spawning in better now. I had to redo all the loot spawns for the entire server, including the basic spawns, because they weren't working correctly. So the submarine camp now has got better loot inside it. Not high gear, not high quality gear, but there's better loot inside there. We've got loot now in both traders, not just the second trader. I was trying to place, you know, in the ATC building, when you go inside and you go up a load of stairs and eventually you go up into the fishbowl at the top. I was trying to place a loot crate on the tables in there, but those tables don't have coordinates built into them, so you can't place anything on them. So the only way of placing a loot crate in there would be having it suspended in the air just above where you want it, which I didn't think was good enough. It was really annoying. So I really wanted a crate on top of the table, so when you open it, anyone that's approaching the airfield and looking for a scope would see you opening a crate. But it wasn't to be. So the crates that you will get, I'm not telling you what order they're going to be in, but there'll be crates at traders, there'll be crates as part of the endgame mission, there'll be crates at 2 gas zones, there'll be crates in various military camps. And the first key, you won't spawn in with it, it won't be findable in the world. It'll be probably a 10% chance on a certain type of zombie. And when you kill that zombie, if you get the key, then you can start the quest line. and there'll be probably a server message that goes out that tells people what to do rather than me announce it. So then if new people join the server, they've got a hint of what they need to do. Obviously, I probably won't take part in it because I know where the things are and I know what's coming up. I'll also be spawning in probably 50, if I can make them work, stash points around the server. So inside military camps there'll be a little like disturbance in the earth, of which if you dig it up you'll find some general loot inside. Probably things like an MRE, maybe a bandage, and they'll just be around the map. Maybe a box of matches, maybe a knife, shit knife, and they'll be hidden all over the place, and each time the server restarts it'll pick a different points for them. But it means if you find them and you've got a field shovel on you, you've got a chance of getting something out of it that's useful. But again, you'll have to carry a field shovel, which then means that that's more loot that you can't carry. Or a normal shovel, or a pickaxe, but field shovels are smaller and fit inside your Bergen. But it won't be like piles of ammo and explosives and base building kit in them. It'll be MREs, a box of matches, a stone knife sort of level. And they'll change their spawn locations each restart and refill each restart. But there'll be 10 items, of which probably I'll get the game to pick 3 of them on for each stash point randomly. So you won't always get the same things. It'll just feel a little bit more random. And hopefully you won't remember whether they all are. And because we're not spawning them all in every time, even if you've got one clocked, you could go back there every time that you're on the server and it might not be there. So, yeah, at the moment, MRE is a military spawn, and it only spawns in 20 at a time. The problem is, when you pick one up, it spawns another one to replace it fairly quickly. But they only spawn in military. I could move them into higher tier military, maybe. Or take them out of spawn and we just have them in stashes or from the trader. Because we're going to have them obviously in the loot crates. They'll have them inside. Because it's a good item to include in there. Or chance of that. The 2, potentially 3 loot crates that are going to be in the world that are not part of the quest line. They will have a pool of items of which it will pick 10 out of 30 items each time it puts a crate in. Whereas the ones that are in the world to get to end game, they will have fixed loot that you need to get that loot to get where you're going. But I'm hoping it'll help to channel players, so players will start meeting each other en route. And this is the first quest line. Ultimately, I'd like to build a second one. So we had one that was for the ammo. So one for the weapon and ammo. And one for the raid explosives. So it could branch and go a different direction. That's what I'd like to do. But get the initial one in, get it working first, and then I can start thinking about the second one. So that means that people that wanted to go after the... You'd have two things you would have to do if you wanted both the 338 and explosives, basically. But I want to get the first one in and running, hopefully this weekend. I've got all the coordinates now. I just need to spawn one in and make sure it works, because then I can copy what I've done. And what's really nice is what we're doing, what I'm doing, what I'm putting on the server in 9 weeks time. 9, 10, 11 weeks time. Yeah, 11 weeks time when we wipe. I don't have to alter that, that'll stay in. The new stuff I'll be adding next wipe will just be like more points of interest to explore. Because we're staying with Chernarus now. Because I don't want to go through this hassle of rebuilding this every wipe. And we've got a better chance of getting more players. I mean, we've picked up, in the week and a half this has been running, we've picked up 4 new players that are playing on a regular basis, which is nice. But I'd like the server to have, I think for what we do with the survival server and how I'm channeling players, we probably need about 20 people that are playing it on a regular basis. So you hear shooting that isn't just AI. So you spot people, so you have to be a bit tactical in your choices. So you learn to be a bit more scared on the ground. Also, potentially next wipe, so 11 weeks time, we'll probably make it colder by a couple of degrees during the day, and keep the nights at the same. At the moment, you can sort of go, I need a fire every 10 minutes when you first start off, but once you've upped your gear, you can sort of go, right, I can go now an hour and a half, and when I get home I can have meds to fight off the cold. So we need to up that a little bit, so you still need fires and survival gear as you're going through. What time is it? 18:39. This is going to be a nightmare. We don't have MVGs. It's coming into a cold night. John, I hope you don't mind me saying, I clocked you on the server yesterday, today, whenever it was, and I was watching the data in the background, and I could see what time it was, and you were the only person on the server at the time, and it was getting night time, and I was like, when's he going to log? When's he going to log? And it got to like the middle of the night, and you logged out. Yeah, like, there you go. I logged out at Big Fire. Might not be a big fire there again when you log in. Super. Might not be there next time. It picks random places around the map to put it. That's my pagan Christmas. Are you enjoying the server, Super? I needed that, haha. Oh. You were freezing. Yeah. Yes, I'm on a quest for several items. Yes, I do. I was a little bit hard at the beginning, but I figured it out. Good. It's a little bit hard for everyone at the beginning. You're not the only one. It's meant to be. Yeah, just stay warm. That's it. Just stay warm. As long as you stay warm, you'll be fine. That's all it's about. It's about keeping warm and a lack of loot. But as long as you stay warm, it's not really an issue. Yeah, keeping those plus symbols, staying warm is all of us worry about on this server. I think John would probably agree. Most of what you do is dictated by how warm you are. So you're forever trying to work on getting warm and keep the warmth up for as long as you can. And if you've got a long trip, you're going a long distance, you have to have fires en route. There's no vehicles on my servers, Super. The vehicles were driven off 12 years ago when the outbreak happened, and they've never been back since. So no, we don't have vehicles. My players would like vehicles, I'm sure. But they're used to me now not giving them vehicles. No vehicles, no tents. You can make improvised shelters. So, my feelings for it, because it's now 11, 12 years since DayZ first came out. So, in my head, all the vehicles, when the outbreak happened, all the people that used to live here would have jumped in their cars they owned and drove off. They probably would have taken emergency supplies with them and their tents and gone. So why would you still have cars here? Shown as a great map, and yeah, with better clothing it's not as challenging. NBC boots, finding one is a nightmare for me to find. So part of the quest line will involve NBC clothing, because I'll be sending you to NBC zones. So you'll get a set of NBC clothing before you go to the NBC zone, and then the reward in the NBC zone will be a second set of NBC clothing to help you. But that's a fair way into the quest line. Also, tier 4 on here spawns NBC. But staying warm is all that really matters. Obviously, we're just out of sync a little bit with the restarts because I had to stop the server this afternoon to fix more problems. But fingers crossed they stay fixed now. The problem we had is we had the doors that were on the submarine area. We had double doors, and all the loot in the submarine area was double spawning, which sounds great, but that means it's not spawning elsewhere. So you were getting like a field vest with a field vest underneath it. Well, that's one field vest that isn't spawning somewhere else on the map. So I had to rebuild the back-end code for the submarine area, and at the same time redo all the loot spawns for the map, which isn't difficult, it's just time-consuming to make sure it's right, and jumping between BI's website to get the master documents, and then you have to load each of the custom builds into editor and generate its own loot file for it, and then you have to sort of paste them all into one document which you verify and then put onto the server. But it's stuff that is just time consuming. Hi Willie, things are good, how are you? We're off to see if we can trigger a bear. But I think, yeah, MREs we might move just onto stashes, less in military, or make it military tier 3, 4, rather than 1, 2. We'll make the starting areas a little bit harder still. Or we'll just have the MRE spawn in tier 1. Because players like to spend their time in other tiers, that forces them to come down to tier 1 every now and again. Potentially take them out of trader, but we're balancing still now. We're just trying to get the balance right. I want it to be hard for everybody, but I want it to be achievable, so when a new player joins, they're not so scared that they never come back. There has to be trying to get that compromise, that balance is really difficult. But all of you, if you're going to go once the quest is in place, if you want the 338 and explosives, you're going to be following that quest line, and hopefully I've made it hard enough that you won't always make it through the quest line, and then you'll have to go back and start again. We're not going to the trader. I realise that we're going to go and it's going to be dark, which is going to be a nightmare. Red sky at night, Shepherd's Delight. But this is Chinaris, it'll probably snow in the morning. But we're going to need to find somewhere to have a fire and wait out till morning. Easier said than done. Right, I'm going to give you guys some gamma. Okay, John, don't be sorry. Real life always comes first. Right, we need a... somewhere. It's a castle, that's no good. That's a barn up there. Well, it might be in the woods then. There's no point trying to hit the airfield at night with no MVGs. That won't pan out well. Stuck in a tree. Make our way to this barn and go from there. Oh, there's a house. That'll do. Not the best house in the world, but it's soon going to be pitch black on the server. At the moment, for me, it's like that. So we're not that far off it being pitch black. As I said, not ideal. Beggars can't be choosers. Anything to repair? The answer will be no, because obviously the game went into silly mode. Okay, you guys have got gamma on. I'm going to need a fire now. Welcome back, John. The wait for morning starts. So it's now 22:05 on the server. Where's my sleep gone? There it is. Okay. It's a good shout. Take the risk. Good idea, John. Really good idea. Hi, Ashes. Now I want to see something. Whether it's possible, I don't know is the answer. Whether this here allows me to keep warm. No. Well, no. What about this side of the wardrobe? That's a shame. Wardrobe's in just the wrong place. So for me, it's like this now. Come on. Yes, you can buy a sharpening stone at the trader. It wasn't intentional, but I've left it in there. Next wipe, it probably won't be in there. But next wipe would change. Next wipe, I'm splitting the traders down completely. So 3 will be at one location and 3 at the others, to force players to move between the 2 all the time. And make players think about where they're living based upon 2 traders. And then each wipe, I will move around which traders are at which area. And you won't know till the day it goes live. Thanks, Willie. We're going to have a lemon poppy seed cake. €1 MREs. That's your Christmas present. I thought that was quite a nice Christmas present from Goblin. I was hoping that, let's be honest, that 3 or 4 players would all see it at the same time, would all go there and end up killing each other. It's really hard that playing on 4K, that trader is a nightmare because it's so small I can't see what I'm looking at half the time. But I like the menu better than I liked it in vanilla. So, because it gives a picture of the gun or whatever you're buying, which is quite nice. But I could take that menu off and it would be easier to see everything. It is just an extra mod. But it's an extra mod that's I quite like. It's quite a nice quality of life mod. Just doesn't really work with 4K. So what are we up? Midnight. We must be due a restart soon. Because obviously I changed the restarts when I was doing bits and pieces on the server earlier. Let's have a quick check. Next restarts at... Yeah, next restarts in about 20 minutes. But there's a problem with the server a second. On the back end. Nothing that... for you guys to worry about. A handshake fail. It was, but a 338, 2 mags and 5 boxes of ammo would have been better. I don't think you expected to get that on any of my servers, so did you? Gamma on for you guys. Half midnight. Get warm again. Yeah, 15 minutes to restart. It will sync again at 6 in the morning. Just if I have to stop it at any point to do any work, when I restart it, it starts the countdown from there. Because what we don't is other servers do fixed time restarts. Yes, the trader locations will be the same. We'll have the same locations for the trader from now on. Because we've got the 2 traders, one either side of the map, which is quite nice. But what I'll probably do is have 3 traders within one and 3 within the other. And then each wipe move who does what around a little bit. So then players will then... It'll be harder for players to work out where to live based upon just one trader hub. Do I have to deal with cheaters on my server? In the last... 12 months I've been running it, I think I've banned 3 people for cheating. And yeah, so not really. So people will always, you'll always get cheaters at some point. It's going to happen, whether you like it or not. Yeah. Less cheaters on here because of this nerfing of loot and no kill feed and no, and it's difficult. It's not a It's a survival server, not a PvP server. Even though it is a PvP server, if that makes sense. I know it doesn't sound quite right. So it's like, I can see within the software I use to monitor whether any of our players have a ban. If someone has an active ban within the last 365 days, they don't even get to see the server in server listings. They can't join the server. If the ban is over 365 days old, I allow them to play the server, but I monitor them. If they then are cheating, I will ban them. And that's how we lost one of our players. So they had a ban that had expired in my head. It was still in place, but it had been 365 days since they'd last been banned, or actually about a year and a half. They were on our server about 6-8 months ago, sometime between there. I was monitoring them quite closely, and they were, I believe, duping. So I kicked them, banned them, and added them to a ban list for what they did. But I will always, always, always give people a chance. I just won't allow people that have got a new Steam account that's not more than 30 days old, that isn't a registered, like a verified Steam account, that has cheated in the last 12 months, or is from certain countries that Great Britain isn't friendly with. Those people can't come onto the server. And people that use VPNs don't have access to the server unless they contact me, explain the reason why. Don't have to tell me everything, but I have a VPN for XYZ. This is a country I'm actually from, etc, 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 and that checks out for me. Then, or I know them, then I whitelist them so they don't have, so the VPN ban doesn't cause a problem. But there's no point banning players from certain countries if they can then use a VPN to get around it. But yeah, so not massively. We're not big enough, high enough up the scale. It's a hard server. People come on and that first hour, all you're doing is dying. And no one that cheats on a regular basis wants to play that. So, server's going to restart in 10 minutes. That's good, actually. Sun will be up. I'd also need to finish this off. So in here, there's like 10 bullet points of rules. So I need to get that working correctly. So you've got crafts, player, but on the main screen, it's like point 1, point 2, point 3. And I'd like to have a little list in there just so people have a quick rundown. You know, putting in there, this is a survival server, it is cold, you need to have light a fire, you can rip up clothes with your hands. For other crafts, click craft is massive. Would help players out no end. Putting, you need to find a map to be able to press M. Yeah, this is a solo server, and explain you can't run in a group, you can't have other people in your base. You're allowed 5 code locks. Anything more than that, admin reserve the right to take all your code locks off and broadcast your base location. Very quick bullet point stuff. Let's get another boost to the old heating. So that's the ultimate aim. Get that finished as well. But I want to get the loot crates done first, because that's the next biggie. Once we've got the loot crates working, then I can change the loot round that we've got on the server slightly to make it more balanced. And as I said, I'd like ultimately a second tree branch within the loot crates that takes you off a different direction for raiding. So you'd have a route for the 338 and a different route that took you off on for the explosives. Or even after you get to the 338, it then continues on to the raiding. But let's get up to the 338 working first. Because I would have used up 9. There's about 10 keys left that I can use still. But I don't want to have too many locations that you can't build at. So I've tried to pick locations that it isn't possible to build at. Basically. For where the loot crates are. Or if by not possible, as in it's under gas, it's in high tier military, there's zombies everywhere. Yes, you could build there, but it wouldn't be easy. I mean, you could build in gas if you really wanted to. Oh, we brought an emergency firelighter with us. That was stupid. Well, I suppose it's better with us than out in the ground. Right then. We need the sun to come up. We need the server restart. And then we can get back on our little mission. Which will be coming from this sort of direction and see if we can force a bear to spawn. I don't know why we're doing it. Could be stupid. And also, if we survive that, I need a trip up to the mill, wherever it is. That one, to see if it's gassed or not. But we're not going to leave here until after server restart now. There's no point. It's only 5 minutes. I'm in a firm location. There's no point pushing out. And then tomorrow, guys, I have 32 gigs of RAM turning up to take my machine up to 64 gigs of RAM. I have two 140 fans, so a 280. Hi Luton, Goblin and John. Are you testing the bear spawn as planned the other day? Sort of, Beardy. I've got a bear spawn on here. I've got 2 bear spawns on this airfield. I just don't know whether they're working or not. And I can't test it in admin mode because I have animals don't react to me when I'm in God mode. So they won't even spawn. So I actually have to physically walk in there to make the animals spawn. And the only way of knowing is to go and give it a go. So I've got RAM turning up. I've got a like a box unit to go on the bottom of my case with 2 fans that will push air up through the graphics card and out the top. I've got a controller coming, so I can wire them in and run it via my CAM software, because I run a NZXT setup. I've got some Allen keys coming, of all things, because I need to get my monitor higher up. I've got a mobile phone stand. What else did I think that was my Christmas presents to myself. That's about it, really. sun's coming up. But as I said, we're going to wait till after restart and then move out. So I bought the monitor arm just before Christmas as my Christmas present. But all 3 monitors are now at different heights because I couldn't find... critical, I've got a 4070 Super Ti anyway. So I've got the 16 gig Super version, or Super Ti version of the 4070. So I'm more than happy with that card. I can't afford a new card. No, I don't use VPP, I use COT. So yeah, so I've never used VPP. Others do and swear by it. And I think because from the first time I ran a server 4 years ago, I used COT. I'm always going to use COT because it's what I understand now. Oh, I can turn on and off God mode still in COT, but because a lot of times I'm running around the map, I have God mode turned on, basically. I just want to trigger, see if they trigger, and see if they trigger properly. So me in game trigger. So I'm walking in there. So I'm 300 meters out to give them a chance to spawn, to see if they're following the correct radiuses that I've set, shit like that. And for me, the only ways of doing it is either I walk in and it kills me, or John reports back that he was killed by a bear. Yeah, they're my 2 options. Let's see if we can do the cookie shuffle. Oh, they've turned it off. You used to be able to take it just to the point of no return and then release and it would spin back forward. It's a shame. Time for another single malt. Be right back. Really jealous. Yeah, so I've got 4070 already, basically. And I don't need anything more than that for DayZ. And I've only got the 4070 Super Ti version, but I've only got the 4080 Lite. I've only got it because I wanted to be able to stream everything at 4K. And I could stream fine 4K on my 3080 for DayZ, just not other games. Yes, exactly. He knows what's coming. He's out there. He said he's gone to get a single malt. He's actually popped off to initiate the bear attack. He's letting them out of the house. Okay, just wait for the server to come back up. Oddly enough, it's fine for what I play. I have a 3060 Ti, but it only has 4 gig. Oddly enough, it's fine for what I play. I still want to upgrade. Blimey, I run a 2070 on a laptop, and it really does well. I'll update to something nicer one day, but including putting a proper rig and just a laptop. Yeah. DayZ's old code. It's because I stream. And I decided that when I decided to leave Kick and Twitch and stream on YouTube, my reasoning behind it was YouTube at the time was the only place that I could stream 4K. You can now on Twitch, just not quite as good 4K. That's the untechnical way of describing it. It does upscaling and downscaling with the NVIDIA chip for you, basically. So I wanted a method of, which is my close one. Where are you? Not that one. that one. So I wanted a method of streaming 4K. That was my primary reasoning. Came to YouTube and I needed a better graphics card. Not for DayZ. My 3080 would do DayZ 4K without any problems. But then I bought Greyzone. And Greyzone drinks graphics cards for breakfast. And everything was fine. I still ran my 3080. I had my 4070 Ti, Super Ti, and I was like, that's it. I'll upgrade when I'm ready. I'd already bought it last year when it first came out. It was sat in a box. I didn't need it yet. I couldn't afford the rest of the system to complement it. So I just sat there. And then about 8 months ago, I went to turn my PC on and it wouldn't turn on. Or it turned on, but no, I was getting no graphic images. So after a lot of fault finding, basically the PCIe socket on the motherboard had broken. So, and I had an AM4 platform. So I had to decide at that point, did I buy a new motherboard for old technology? Rebuild the PC. It was a cheap option. It would have cost me £150 to get a good board. Or did I bite the bullet, scrap the old system and start again? So I sold my 3080, and what I got for the 3080 bought me 90% of my new system, because I already had the graphics card from before. And I went to a new system. But I upgrade yearly something. So not 25, but in 26 my aim is to go to 5K. My main screen will go to a 5K screen, probably in 26. Because I've got enough internet speed here to do 5K streaming. I don't have good enough internet here to do 8K. And nothing really graphic card wise is good enough for 8K. Yeah, I did well. But I'd had, you know, at the end of the day, sometimes picked components burn out. But my 3080, basically, I looked at what CEX was paying for them. I took off 5%, put it up on Facebook Marketplace. Somebody came and gave me cash straight away. You upgrade yearly to something 1 year old. Roughly-ish. Graphics cards, this is the first time I've had a graphics card that is new when it came out. Actually, not fair. I've got my 3060 Ti I had on the day of release. But good card, top of the range card. Normally I buy a graphics card 1 generation behind. But I don't need to replace this card. There's no other games that I can think that I will play now. I don't play flight sims. I'm not into... Arma 4 will still be running like this runs. As I've got older, I play less games. Will probably buy Indiana Jones at some point, just because as a kid I loved that on TV. Let me go that way round. But that will just be I want to play it. It will still look fine on here. Stalker 2, I'm loving and I'm not having any issues with, but I'm waiting for the A-Life to be fully working before I carry on with that. I want it to be where it's meant to be. And they've patched it in now. They've got some stuff working well, but it needs to be spaced out a bit further. Obviously, because I've got this draw distance that allows me to see so far, I want to be able to see AI running around at draw distance. No, I don't do... I only do survival servers critical. And that would cause too many issues. There we are. RIP. So, for the ones of you that don't know, BI, when people die in real life that were massive in the community, you can reach out to BI and sometimes they will put a cross in to remember you into the game. And maybe, so this might have been that person's favourite spot in the game, which is why they ended up with a little cross here and a bench. So, DayZ servers that involve... So, we all know who Indiana Jones is always against in every film. The enemy, we'll call them, for want of a better word, because they're not words that we will use in chat, and they're not words that I will say on here for monetization issues. Making a server that has them as the enemy is a problem. Because... the same as having any of their badges in is a problem. Especially because I'm now monetized on YouTube. The last thing I want to do is cause issues with YouTube and or BI. And if you want an Indiana Jones themed server, play Deer Isle and do some jumping around things. Seriously, if you say that word, if the AI picks up on it, which it monitors everything, then that word would get me... Yes, I'd have severe problems with that word. I can swear, I choose not to overly. I do occasionally, obviously you've all heard me. But certain words, the AI has a heart attack about. That, you know, every time I upload a video... I don't do football, but I find that amusing. Wolves. Okay, that's not a bear. Which is annoying because it means I'm getting a wolf spawn here. I might not get a bear spawn now. Yeah, so it's the same as when I upload a video. So my pass out parade in the army. Many people have uploaded the bit of music that's used in my pass out parade. But the AI sees it whenever that obviously scans your video when you go live. But whenever I try and upload my pass out parade, I get a copyright strike for that piece of music that's in there. And it's really annoying because it's playing during a really good bit of it. No, I'm not playing that game. Good try, though. That reminds me of when my friends, because of what I do for a living, I'm not when there's an election on, I'm not allowed to discuss politics. So some friends of mine are always trying to bait me into discussing politics to see whether I'll fall for it. Someone, yes. Yeah, the trouble is, we'll just change the subject. It's easier. No, that's fine. It's not a problem. No, that's okay, Beardy. It's not a problem. Right, we need to get on top of something so we can shoot wolves. I'm annoyed that the wolves spawned for me because that'll probably be the animal spawn that we get now for this. Because that's how spawns work on animals. So I might have to remove that spawn territory there from wolves to sort of force the spawn, the event to be a bear event instead. Luckily I brought a silence gap with me, didn't I? So if we do have to play with wolves, we might just get outside their territory. My mind's like that all the time. Right then, let's just sit on the trailer and see whether the friendly wolves turn up. Can be a bitch when you could pick up a key and it says go to the ATC at Northeast Airfield, isn't it? Which one do I mean? I always get a cold whenever I go on leave. I think my body's like, time to relax, and you can be ill now. And it's that time of the year, there's lots going round. So obviously on my server, don't touch barbed wire. Because it works. Hot toddies, yeah, I'm with you. Ooh, 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 we'll have that. It's a whole new world on here. Medical tents that haven't got buildings inside them. Go on, give me some normal meds, game. I played a server where the loot crate was in this room. Oh, I need to delete that then at some point, but that's not a today problem. I was running on Winter Cherno just before coming here, and I've had 3 packs of wolves, dealt with 2 of them, and the other 2 were chasing wild boar. First time I've seen it like that, really cool. I may go to the shops and get some whiskey. if you carry on saying things like that. So it was when Livonia was brought in as DLC. Oh, we need to get rid of that one as well at some point. That's when they initiated the ability of wolves chasing animals. We've already got one of those, but we'll take the bandage. Another bandage, we'll have that. Blood test kits shouldn't be in there. We're a solo server, so I've taken the test kits out, I thought, because whatever blood you take will be good enough. See, that shouldn't be there, so I need to take that out, but I'll leave those there because that works. Don't think that works. No, that doesn't work either, does it? It's because when this mod was made, certain things... Okay, I need to do some work in here. But I quite like the crates. If I can get out. I've only been playing for 10 months, almost at 1,000 hours. Amazing. Well, you should be. I reckon on about 1,000 hours a year is about what I go up, give or take. It's about 1,000 hours a year. So what we came here for, we've got, but now we've got no space for anything else. So I've put a few more Zeds around. Fuck it! I'm so glad. The game is awesome. The game is just amazing. Not so much when that happens. I blame that pesky goblin. When did you put the bear into this airfield? I was there 2 hours ago and nothing. This afternoon, it should be there. And it's not spawning. Because the zombies have spawned, there should be a bear with them. So I've not done something right, which I need to work out why. The boom booms are brilliant though, aren't they? Yeah, there should be a crackhead bear right there with the zombies. My exploding zombies are the best thing I ever did. I think they should be allowed in vanilla game. It's excellent. It's using vanilla code. It will work on Xbox and PlayStation. There's no mod. It's just manipulation of the code. I'm not the only person that worked it out, but I worked it out myself, if that makes sense. And then after I worked it out and I spoke to someone that builds mods, he's like, oh yeah, this person here also uses that. And we were talking, and then another person came into the group, and we were discussing how we use it to do shit. But they'd used it for gas, not for explosives. So it was me that said, well, what about flashbangs? Oh, they work. Hand grenades? Well, they work as well. And then the explosions going off in camp, me again, using the same code. Because I just think it sounds... Being in a military camp, having little bat things go off, put you on the edge of your seat. And that's good. I love manipulation of code. It doesn't involve... I don't have to add a different mod. All we're doing is saying, let's take the code that BI have given us and play with it. Now, it doesn't mean they'll work forever. At some point, BI might patch that out. I get that. That might happen. If I was a modder, I would make one of the zombies have a suicide vest on, the one that blows up, and then I'd make him the screamer, so he would run towards you screaming and then explode. Because I think that would be such a fun mechanic to play with. Because you could take a plate vest, you could turn it any colour you like, you could put some fake grenades around the outside, graphically. You could give him the personality of that officer zombie that runs towards you screaming, attracts all the other zombies. And then you could have that one run towards you, and when he gets 2 meters away from you, he would implode. I just think that would be... or explode. It would be a good mechanic to play with. Yes. But we don't have that at the moment, so yes, puppies, John, puppies. But they've gone now. The other thing that I would love to be able to do, and at some point I will learn how to do it, is you get 2 cows and a bull in a field. I would like to make the bull have the personality of the bear. So when you shot the cow, the bull would charge you down. I know, just wanted a hug for Christmas. So yeah, I'd love to manipulate the cows and bulls. Because we've got a bull in the game, it's just not aggressive. And it should be. I'll have a look, Sarah's dad. Thank you. We're heading for commence to see if it's gassed. And also there's a chance of a bear spawn up there. I think, in my head, I know a way of making the bears spawn. Forcing a spawn. I could make a new group for the crackhead bear and call it as an event spawn with 2 locations that it always spawns at. So it would be a separate event because it's a separate model. Maybe. Yeah, so that's what I'd love to do with the bears. The cow. Just, I think it would be awesome. Because players wouldn't be suspecting it. You'd be wandering around, you'd see a cow. Hallie? You'd see a cow and you'd be like, oh, I can shoot that and have some food. And suddenly one of them would be attacking you. Yeah, thanks for that, guys. So, and obviously the flag. So we're using expansion easy flag, that's fine. But I've never been able to get my head around the fact that I mean, I love base building. Don't get me wrong, I'm a massive base builder. But I've never been able to get my head around the fact that you build a covert base to stay hidden in DayZ so you can live, survive, etc, etc, etc. And then you stick this big tall flag next to your base to say, here I am, it's where I'm living. It would be really nice, same mechanic, but the flagpole was half the size. Or, I get that they want you to build something to preserve your base. So, don't mind what it is, but it's not something that's 20 foot high, that's waving at everybody. And in vanilla, why is there no roof piece? I mean, yes, you can make one with a little bit of manipulation. And over the weekend, we'll be building roof pieces on the Goblin Army HQ that we're building. But it's manipulation that you have to do to get it to work. It shouldn't be. Be thankful, guys, at one point this was going to be the trader. We need another fire, don't we? Didn't really want to do one in this town. Don't think we've got much of a choice. do not like building in there. Sorry, rephrase that. Do not like lighting fires in there. But there. Okay. So this barn up here. The barn that people build on PvP servers because it's flat and it's easy to build. Put helicopter landing pads here and big bases. Okay, so for the map to work, Super, you need to find a map. So you need a map. Once you've got a map, then you can press M. Excellent. That's better. Now everything changes. And if you can't find a map anywhere else, kill a priest. Because most of my priests have maps on them as loot. Exactly. That's because they want to show you the way. They're very, very goblin sense of humour. In the same way that it's Christmas time and we've got the burning bonfires from pagan festivals in. There isn't one. There is only a priest model. That's in the code. You've only got priest. You don't have priest and bishop. I wish we did. But yeah, we only have priest in the code. Unless it's hidden in the code and I haven't seen it anywhere. But I've been through the code quite a lot in the last year. But I'll have a look again. You never know. I once played a server, and if you wanted any recreational pharmaceuticals to grow in your base to sell to the trader, the priests all carried the seeds, which is where my little brain went, oh, we could put the maps on them. That would be fun. How's my boots? Still pristine. Good. Go and see if we can trigger a bear. See what I said there? Recreational pharmaceuticals. And you all knew exactly what I meant. It's really annoying. Expansion have taken it out. It used to be part of the expansion code that you had. They called it in game a mysterious blue crystal, and it was in a little bag. And we could have used that as the same way we're using the circuit boards as loot. But you could actually consume it, and you would be able to run faster, whatever it happened to be. But they've obviously taken it out at some point because it wasn't fitting into their vision. But it's like the circuit boards that we have now on the map. So the circuit boards are only meant to be used on the parking meters. And then what they do... Why is the bear woke? So they're only meant to work on the parking meters in expansion, so you can upgrade your parking meter and you can store more cars. So you can sell them in Trader, and people then can have cars that are hidden. I don't know why you'd want cars that are hidden on a server. No idea. But hey, that's what they do. But I suddenly hit me that actually it makes a really good item to stick into loot that then you guys can run to traders and sell. Makes perfect sense. And what we'll do is, when I've got the loot crates working, we'll have them, rather than spawn on helicopters, they'll spawn instead in, well, rather than event loots, we'll have them spawn in loot crates. So then you've got the loot that I want, because I know what loot you're getting in each loot crate, but there'll also be added bits to make you think, do I take this with me? Do I go back the way I've come? Do I carry extra stuff? Do I go to a trader and make some money? There might even be money in a loot crate. I might actually physically put money in there. Do I carry on with my mission or do I go home? Yeah, because I've got all this money on me. You know, Goblin might give you a code lock. Do I carry on because the next bit's so close, or do I run the code lock home? Force you to make choices. This is my least favourite military camp in DayZ. I never like coming here. Cookie always tries to drag me to this place. On PvP servers, I hate this camp. This is a PvP server, I understand, but we're quiet. And it's not easy to get here. I mean, it's not difficult. It's not like mind-bendingly nightmarish, but it's not the easiest trip in the world. And this camp was so much better in the days before I played DayZ. This had an underground section in it originally, but it was glitchy, so they took it out. But you could go underground at this camp, supposedly. Like, normally I would not be pushing in here on finding a code lock, because that's big. But we've still got this bit left over, if none of you have seen it before. No, we're at commence. We'll probably push for Tissy. No, we'll probably push for Northwest after this if we're still alive, because then we can go into the new bunker. Fuck. That's the hole for cheaters. Yeah. Navy uniform, guys. From Sakal. M4 shotguns. Nah, don't want to bison. Always want knives. We'll always take a warhead. Spare mag for the FX. Thank you. That was just painted on the ground. If that was actually a space in there that you could get inside, I'd love to put a bear inside it. So as you ran over it, roar, and you'd be looked down, you see a bear looking up at you. Sawn off. Shotty. It certainly is. But I like that. Fucking barbed wire. I am miles from home and it is full. I'm a hoarder as well. It's the reason I do shit like this, so it's hard for me as well. That's what we wanted. I see what you mean, 2 ration packs in the same building. It's what part of the code manipulation that I've got going on. Basically, ruin grenades going off because they're spawning in ruin and then they're blowing up straight away. And I do it on purpose to make people... If you're new on the server and you don't know what I'm like, and you run into military and you start hearing explosions, it gives you a bit of a... puts you on the edge of your seat. Place is full of fucking rations, but you'd never carry them all out anyway. And if you did, you'd be leaving behind better loot. Whoa, do not want to pick that grenade up. Sometimes they spawn in and work. And then if you pick them up, there's a chance they'll go off inside your inventory. I think we're about to die, guys. This is not going well. 9 rounds left before we have to go loud. But we've lived nearly 2 weeks, so... Dead man's clip. I hate bolt action weapons. Looks like there was an incident here. I know I'm not the only person that puts hand grenades over things. MP7. This is a potential bear spawn territory. MPX. Ah, a ski mask that isn't shoot me colours. I need the rocket launcher to go with it. Right, Airfield. Quick check of this one. So now you're working out where the rockets spawn, guys. They can be used in raiding. You just need to get the launchers. Right, we are there. If we go that angle, head towards Trader, that should take us into the airfield. There we go. That would work, I'm sure. I find it quite amusing because I've fired the Law and there are no missiles to go inside it. It's a fire and forget 66 caliber shoulder launch rocket system. You shoot, you press the depressal switch, it fires, you throw it away. RPG obviously can be reloaded, but the Law can't. 66 as I would call it. A long time ago I fired that. That would have been 1990 I fired the Law. Or the 66. And then I fired the Law 94, which was our bigger toy at the time. A bit more oomph to it. Though not that much compared to modern day combat. I'm guessing 66 caliber, .66, 6. It would have been a caliber. Something to do with caliber 66. Because that's how us military type think. Still used now by special forces. I got to shoot the simulated version of it 2 years ago on my course. Because the instructor held one up and said, I bet none of you know what this is. And I'm like, yeah, I do. And he's like, how do you know? And I said, I fired one in 1990. He's like, oh, okay. Apart from the civilian that's on the course, I bet none of you guys that are serving know what this is. Like, no. Yeah. Useful against trenches, light-skinned vehicles, that sort of thing. Obviously originally brought out to shoot at tanks with, but tank technology has moved on. But yeah, trenches, light-skinned vehicles, bunkers. Like, not massively constructed bunkers, but like sandbag type bunkers, that sort of stuff. Southwest style beef and beans with sauce. Well, I live in the southwest. This must be mine. See, we're picking a route that has a chance of a rah. So we should probably think about another fire. I'm guessing it's sort of 12ish, 10:30. So maybe about 10:30 to about 1. You don't need to worry about the cold so much, because up here it's on the map it's meant to be colder because we're slightly higher up. We still on track? Yeah. Push that way a little bit. Let's go and take down a bunk. Let's go and see if we can get into a bunker before tomorrow and I turn off the method of entry. Oh, now I need a... After saying that, it's time for a fire. Tabbing, yep. Tactical advance to battle. Now, when you light the fire, it should clear the ground, is when you know that it's lit before it lights. There you are, got a big circle. That tells you the fire's going to work. If you don't get the circle, something's not working. Yeah, 56 slots is not a lot to work with. And we've got no big Bergens in this, so the biggest rucksack you're going to get is the Alice pack. And especially when you come out and you're, for me, that and that is automatically taken up with survival gear. Yes, that's a vanilla thing. That is a vanilla thing. So look for that circle. As soon as that circle initiates, you know you've got a working fire. He ain't no Marine. No. Nah, I was an infantry soldier, but I weren't a Marine type. And it was very much like this. There was an awful lot of walking. I get why, though, because the Marines are very good at publicising what they do. So people think of it as yomping. Whereas, yeah. And the rivalry that you get within the armed forces is just like, that's what people, you know, you don't. When I was serving, if you'd said to a Marine, oh, you're in the infantry, they were like, no, I'm not, I'm a Marine. Where now they call themselves infantry soldiers. Yeah. It's like when people say to me, Remembrance Day, and I put my green beret on, rifle green, and they're all like, oh, you're a member of the Rifles. I was like, no, I wasn't, never in the Rifles. But you're wearing their beret. No, I'm not. I'm wearing a light infantry beret. They just don't exist anymore. They became the Rifles, but equally, it's the same colour beret the Gurkhas wear, and one of the cavalry regiments. So, just happens to be green. Right then. Now we're going RV. That's home. That's there. So it's about that way. Don't want to stay too warm for too long because you'll start to lose hydration. Yeah, there you go. And that's what. So, and then once you've started to call it yomping, you'll always call it yomping. Yeah. I have mixed lingo anyway. You know, I refer to a hot drink as a wet, which is a Marine thing. I'll call uniform rig, again, a Marine thing. I mean, being down in the West Country, we have an awful lot of Marines around, and ex-Marines. And one of my best friends was a Marine until he sadly passed away. A long time ago, though. I was meant to do D of E when I was Army Cadet, but I got bored of the idea. Did 10 tours, though, a few times, which is down in the southwest. We have school teams from all over the country take part, but basically go on Dartmoor and walk 35 miles as a six-person team, independent of adults. You've got a 35-mile route, a 45-mile route, and a 55-mile route. Run in May every year. So I did that. Did the 35. Then I trained for the 45. No, I trained for the 55, but ended up doing the 45. Back when I was slightly thinner and slightly more fitter than I am now. So I'm near Exeter. I say near Exeter. I'm in Exeter. There we are. But I grew up in a little village between Exeter and Yeovil. Ish. But I now live in Exeter itself. No, it's not a problem. It was his own fault he passed away. He was an idiot. He did something stupid and it killed him. That way. No. So if you carry on from Bristol as if you're going to Cornwall, I'm about 45 minutes from Bristol as if you're going to Cornwall on the motorway. I'm in farming land, you know, lots of tractors. Though I live in a town now, but I grew up in farming land. I grew up in a village where there was 100 people in the entire village, and there was 14 children in the primary school, and that was it. Not 14 in my year, 14 in the entire school. About that way. So I'm always reluctant to set RVs because if you die, your RV is still on the map. I wish there was a way that when you died, any RVs that you'd set deleted, or any map markers you'd put on deleted. Okay, I'm reasonably close to Brixham. Reasonably. So if you come back from Brixham slightly, you've got sort of the coast. If you come back towards London, but you're not going that far obviously, but if you come back up country, I'm not a stupid distance from Brixham. Brixham's a 30-minute drive. I think the ones of us that live here don't appreciate it in the same way. No, Exeter's mid-Devon is mid-Devon, realistically. North Devon would be Barnstable, which is where I used to live. But it is beautiful countryside down here. Yeah. Livonia reminds me of home. Livonia is probably my favourite map because it reminds me of Devon. You know, big fields, woods, zombies on a Friday night. Reminds me of home. But the map's not popular enough to run it as a server. This is the map everybody wants to play. Not everybody, but you know what I mean. If I run Chernarus, we're more likely to get population pop on the server. I do realise we're going to go into a bunker, probably find some gear to exchange, and then have to throw away, because we're not going to be able to carry it out. But it is beautiful down here. But as I said, I live down here, you don't appreciate it the same way. Wherever you are in Devon, you're only 30 minutes from the beach. And that in itself is amazing. You know, where I am now, I'm 30 minutes from Dartmoor, about 30 minutes from Exmoor. Hi Ryan. But I love it. I love the Southwest. I mean, I went all around the world courtesy of the military and came back and settled back down here to its home. I hadn't seen it, but I knew they were working on something. I didn't see that they'd announced it. I knew that they were about quite a while ago. They said that they were working on their own map. I'm glad they are. I think more of the big servers need to. I don't know how well it'll do, because it's like Sakao came out and Loaded, which I sometimes play. Loaded have said that, and they're wiping tomorrow, they're going to a non-survival version of Sakao because nobody wants to play Survival DayZ. I wouldn't say nobody. I could put on a different sky. I could put a skybox on here. I've chosen not to because it's another mod to load, but we could have a skybox on here. I could put on a far nicer sky. What are they all doing there? Oh. But Livonia is a beautiful map. The trouble with Livonia is just Cherno's probably better balanced for PvP. And for general loot. People know where to go to get stuff. Forget my version of it. But as a standard, people know if I go here, I will get the following. If I hit Airfield, I'll find this. If I hit Tissy, I'll find this. Whereas Livonia, it's a bit more little pockets, not just a line across the map. But Livonia was designed as a survival map. Obviously, then Sakao's become the real survival map. So, I'm sure the next one will be even further. I don't know, Beardy. All I would do is I would load a skybox on here as a mod, and pick one of the, and I just pick a skybox that had a Livonia twist to it. I just haven't this wipe. I didn't think about it, in all honesty. I believe that we can do it ourselves in the code for the server if I knew what I was doing. I don't. You can unpack the skybox bit that they use on the server and put your own code in. And put a picture in. You know, if you wanted to, you could make the sky a giant goblin. Looking down at you all the time. But it means you can make themed servers. So you could have a server that felt like it was inside by changing the sky. Yeah, flying dinosaurs. You could do all that sort of shit if you wanted to. Though there is a mod out there at the moment for flying dragons. For a fantasy map. Which you can shoot down. And they will fly over you and breathe fire on you. And burn you down and burn your base down. No, we're not having it. If I ever win the lottery and I have a second server, then I would be tempted to have a medieval server. And do a server where we didn't have rifles. It was all crossbows and bows and knives and then and some sort of medieval base building mod. That would be interesting. But it wouldn't be popular. Northman's, when they had their anniversary last year, maybe this year, they put up a medieval server and they had like 50 against 50, or no, 25 against 25, or 30 against 30, fight to the death on there. All with axes and medieval armour. But I'd have to become a modder, and I'm not a modder. It's something I'd love to learn how to do, because you'd want to get rid of everything that didn't fit into it. And I'd want some sort of base building mod, maybe with chains and padlocks. Could just about justify in my head, I suppose. And you'd want the castles rebuilt. And you'd want AI walking around with crossbows wearing medieval armour. Right then. Time to see if we can get into a bunker. Yeah? We've got to spot the bunker first, haven't we? It's over there. I quite like the whole medieval thing. If we're ever playing on a server and I say we're getting shot at from a swimming pool, that's the building I mean. It's what I call swimming pool. Shit. No silencer. That's changed the game. Lag. Bloody game. Did one medieval map on DayZ, it was okay, a bit like... Yes, I played a medieval map on here and I agree it wasn't that popular. Right, we need to shoot zombies or kill zombies that have NBC kit on to try and get a swipe card. I hope you like the smoke I put in for you guys. Particle effects. It's not a guaranteed spawn. filter on that one though. So it's a 50-50 chance on the zombies, but obviously I didn't want to set it at 100% chance because that's a bit OP. But it's only on the ones that are spawning here, because they're spawning here as part of an event. The NBC ones that spawn here are an event spawn, not a normal spawn. I'd say it's not working at all. I would expect at that point to get it, which is fine because when we do the loot crates, the loot crate will have one. If that makes sense. So before you get sent here with a key to use inside, you will get a crate that has a spawn attached. Yeah, they're spawning in the pen, but not the swipe card. That's alright. That's life. At some point, probably, realistically, Sunday, the crates will be finished. Saw the smoke and Rutland. I thought it was a player. Killed literally everything and no drop. Fair enough. Yeah, it should be dropping. It's not. But it's going to be part of the zombies are leaving here anyway once the crates are working. Or not the zombies, the NBC zombies will be leaving here. I have a new use for them. If you'd played my Livonia wipe back along, we use this bunker on Livonia, but it's actually made for here. That was a serious boom, wasn't it? Love it spawned inside there. Also love the fact that the airfield, the weapon spawn is not too heavy, hard now. It's a better than you're getting elsewhere on the map, but it's not like end game stuff. No mags coming on these type of things, so it's good. Okay. Someone or a zombie found it. Because obviously I'm in the area. So a zombie could trigger it. Because they'll spawn in for me. Fancy walking a barrel home from here? Don't think so. Okay, yeah, could be a person. Could be a player. Because of the distance that zombie spawned at. Yeah. Not up here, I won't be having a fire. Helicopter crash. Right, mist is coming in. Do we use the mist to our advantage? Mist and a snowstorm. Fuck yeah. Risk it for a biscuit. With no stamina to run. Yeah, but the AI now have unlimited ammo and better weapons, so they might be in for a fright. B92 said the AI were too easy, so I gave them unlimited ammo. It was a bit easy. You could just run around in circles till they ran out of ammunition and then shoot them with a pistol. So we took that advantage away. You're now going to have to either PvP them or snipe them. But I'm hoping that I can... Yeah. That's giving away too much. I said earlier about moving the zombies off. I'm hoping I can use the NBC zombies on an event that I want to build. So there won't be AI on it, but there'll be a different type of event. I'm thinking something like, and this is way out there. This is something like the convoy events. Between 300 and 500, but with line of sight. If it's night time, they need to have MVGs on to see you, and my guys don't have MVGs. When they first came out, they could see you at 5,000 meters in any conditions. And they could one-tap you if you're flying a helicopter. They were awful. But now they're a bit more believable. So I'm thinking of changing the convoys slightly. And the convoys, because they've always crashed the convoys and broken down, swapping the zombies out on the convoys to NBC zombies, and then having the convoys have a gas attack over them. So it feels like the vehicles have crashed and the gas has leaked out, and the team have deployed of zombies to contain it, though they would have been soldiers originally. But I've got to play with that mechanic at some point. That's for the future. I need to spend some time in the next week that I've got off, week and a half, no, week and 3 days before I go back to work. I've got to set up my spare laptop, and then I can test stuff like that out, and when it works I can bring it onto the server rather than have to test it on the server. I hate this fence line. I would love us to be able to have, like, we got the wire cutters. It would be really nice to be able to have fences that were solid and you could cut a hole where you liked, but then it ruined the wire cutters, and on the next restart it made them solid again. It'd be a really nice little mechanic. Cut a hole in the wire yourself. And another item you have to carry with you, or you'd have to go in the entrance. Right, I'm going to find somewhere to lie up, guys. I've been streaming for 3 hours 45. Obviously, we'll be on tomorrow night for the community run. Sorry, my brain's not working. I'm getting tired. And I'll be streaming most of the weekend community run because we've got a wooden castle to build. So it'd be good if people can join me. If you're in the community, the details are on the Discord. If you can join on PC, please do so. I will put some instructions in there tomorrow about passwords for voice over IP and for what colour armbands we're going to have to be expected to wear. But it'll be a two-pronged, or three-pronged. It'll be when you approach the island, your weapon's not raised, for obvious reasons. You use a password with voice over IP if challenged. I'll explain how that works. And there'll be a certain colour armband that you wear, which will, and that'll just be, information will be in the Discord. And once a few of us have been killed wearing that armband, we'll swap the colour of the armband. The server that we were going on that was dead is getting busier. Okay, that's okay, Beardy. I get it. Ryan, I've got a lock and some other building stuff on the Livonia server. Oh, that's amazing, Ryan. That's really good. I've got nothing on there. I think I've got 4 chicken breasts, and that's about it. Right, I'm going to log out, guys. Thanks for watching. It's been a good evening. Thanks for the interaction. Thanks for the chat. And I will update some stuff on the Discord server tomorrow. I will probably be a freshie. I am as near as damn it a freshie. But as long as you can make it to the river and then turn left or right and get to the island, we should be getting... Well, people will bring gear in and we'll try and gear people up and get them out on the ground to find what we need. And we'll see how we get on. We might not get the castle built, but we'll see what we can do. Right, guys. Thanks for watching. It's been emotional. I will see you all again tomorrow. Remember, if you have a goblin in your sights, miss.